Today I crossed a huge milestone and I'm so excited. I passed my evaluation and now I'm eligible for a funded account. This has been several weeks in the making. In fact, I bought my first evaluation back in the middle of April. Here we are, July 1st. I actually failed the first evaluation and started a second evaluation May 20th. So about 6 weeks into the second evaluation, I did pass. And my goal here is to just always stay at a baseline level of emotion, not too happy, not too sad. So when you get really excited when you have a big day like this and you just want to see how quickly can I return right back to that baseline in the same way. Things are going bad, lots of losses. How quickly can I return back to that baseline? Because when you're making decisions out of excitement or out of anger, it's always the wrong decision. It always tends to make you make a decision that's more emotionally based than actually discipline based. So I went with gold this morning and we had a very large opening range. And for the longest time, I was always back and forth on these bigger opening ranges with gold. I think this one was almost 40 points. And it's just really not a part of my rules for my setup. My rules are if the setup presents itself that I need to execute. And I think it's back to my hesitation. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm always looking for some extra confirmation, something to just kind of push me over the edge. And the market doesn't always give you that. The market doesn't give you certainty. It gives you what it gives you, and it's my job to execute when it presents the setup that is in my playbook. So what happened was we had our initial breakout here, and then I noticed that there was consolidation right here at the top of the opening range. I placed these two yellow lines here, which are basically a micro range, kind of showing that consolidation. And as soon as it broke over that micro range and closed, it showed acceptance. I took entry right here at the 937 candle, and then it went on a nice fast run. Ended up going 50 points total. I took profit here along the way at 30 points, and I used a runner, just a partial close with left a couple contracts open, and just a trailing stop loss, which is something that I've been working on for a while now, is just basing my stop loss, the trailing stop loss, on structure, not emotion, not trying to count dollars that I haven't actually even earned. And that's really hard because right here is an additional 20 points. I went with the stop loss originally down in here, and then as it continued to go higher, I kept moving it up, and eventually I took my final close right here. So there is 20 points here, and then you're second guessing yourself the whole time afterwards. It ended up just testing a little bit deeper than where my stop loss was, and ended up running again up another 20 points. So it's money that I didn't make. I left it on the table, so to speak, but really my job is to execute my setup, and then whatever happens after that, as long as I stay true to my playbook and my discipline, whatever happens after that it's really none of my concern. So this was a great trade. It was a great win. It put me over the edge, like I said, across the milestone of the evaluation. Now I'm into a funded account, and I'm really excited, but like I said, I need to just focus on getting back to the base level here of excitement levels, which is where my discipline lies, which is what's going to prevent me from going after fear-based trades, fear of missing out, or sitting here and trying to get overconfident, having the win addiction, and it's just chasing that feeling. At the end of the day, this was a great trade, but I didn't really do anything except execute this setup when it presented itself. The market did all this, so I really can't take credit for all that, and that really actually helps me because it's got nothing to do with me except for executing this setup, which I did. So all of this stuff is out of my control. The only thing that's in my control was right here, and I did it exactly how I wanted to, and I couldn't be more happy.